All right, so let's get the session started. So welcome. This is Mind the Moment's Tuesday morning session, and it's offered by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we can come together online as a community to share this practice of mindfulness and to learn from each other and share from our experience and to kind of navigate through each day with more mindfulness tools, I guess, at our disposal. So anyway, if this is your very first time tuning in, an especially warm welcome to you. And if you are identifying as a longtime regular, of course, a warm welcome to you too. And my name is Mary Starr Green. And as always, I am really happy to be with you here for this session today on a Tuesday. Let's see. Okay, so before we get going, just the reminder to go down. If you haven't already, go down to the bottom, open the chat box, and click on the drop-down menu to everyone so that when you type something in there, everybody here in this session will be able to benefit from your words. So that is that. So here's how this next, 20, 25 minutes is going to go, 25 minutes. We'll start with just a little brief meditation. Then I'm going to offer up a question for the group, something for you to reflect on and share your responses, your thoughts about it. And then I'll guide a longer meditation, probably 12 to 15 minutes. And then assuming that there's a little bit of time at the end, we can do a little bit more interacting. Maybe there's some questions or some of you might want to share some resources. And so that is the basic layout for right now. Okay, so let's get started. Let's just get started with a little brief centering meditation. You can have the eyes open or closed. If they're open, just gently take them away from the screen. Kind of guide them towards a place that feels more neutral. And you might take a couple deep breaths. In this breath cycle, we can breathe into the fresh experience of this moment. And the exhale is this offering of just letting go of all that stale air at the bottom of the lungs to invite a deep breath in. And so as you settle in, you may or may not want to continue with intentionally deep breathing, just letting the body relax. Taking a little scan through the body, the places that you're aware of that might be holding some tension. So there's a little bit of discomfort in the way that you are sitting. So just adjust and see if that kind attention may begin to unravel a little bit, soften down through the jaw, muscles of the face, and softening the shoulders. And on the way down, all the way down through the chest and the belly. And seeing the solidness of the physical body here and now. In the chair, or perhaps you're standing, feet on the ground. Simply resting in this way. This brief settling in with this body here and the breath moving. Are you aware of any particular patterns of thinking? Aware of kind of a general mood that you have? brought with you, let's say, that feels clear in this moment. So acknowledging the physical body, the emotional and the mental body. And then again, you might take a deeper breath in and exhale, let it go, letting go, bringing attention back as you open the eyes again. If they were closed, just bringing attention back to the screen and to our group together. Right. So as promised, I have a question. I will write it in the chat box. But my question is really one for you today about the practice of meditation itself. And so you might imagine if you identify as somebody that is been meditating for a while, you might imagine the novice meditator of you kind of sitting on one shoulder, right? Remembering that time. And so the question is, what advice or words of encouragement, might be a better way of putting it, would you offer to the novice meditator that is yourself, was yourself? And if you are new to this practice of meditation, you might even just say, what words of encouragement have been helpful? Or what are you noticing? So really, it's kind of opening up to everyone, to any level of experience. So I'm going to write this in. Let's see, is this sending? I am not seeing my send. So again, that question is, what advice would you give or would you offer to someone who is new at meditation? Or imagine yourself or remembering yourself as somebody that was new, a novice meditator, and what would you offer to them? Thank you, Janice. I am literally not seeing the send button here. New screen for me. So hopefully I have been clear enough on that. So just words of encouragement or advice to that novice meditator that was you, or to a novice meditator. Yeah, not to judge, right? That you're not a bad meditator. Whatever your experience is never wrong. Hopefully. Yeah. Wonderful benefits coming from continued practice. So keep going. Yeah, absolutely. I'll share for me. Yeah, it takes time to get results. It's the exercise of the brain that exceeds all other forms of exercise. Here to that. Yeah. I've found, and stick with it. So really what came up for me as I was doing this and coming up with this question was really more about the fact that my husband and I are planning a hiking trip. And as we do, but I'm remembering back when the very first time that we planned a long hiking trip, multiple days, and it was relatively new. And so what what we did was we consulted a map, and descriptions of the trail. And I just found it very comforting. And of course, it was not the same thing as actually doing the hike, but to know what to expect. Like, I can look at the map, I can see the topography, I can see that there are two peaks, I can read the description, and it says, it's going to start off steep, and after this amount of distance, it will plateau, and then you're going to go around a rocky crag, and all these different things that you go, okay, now I'm at that point. And it was really helpful to have that sense of terrain in front of me. It always is. So this kind of map of what to expect, let's say, right? Yeah, these are wonderful. Thank you. So a lot around, non-judgment and practice itself. So this is called a practice for that reason. So thank you, everybody. And if you're still thinking, or maybe something comes up, feel free to keep typing it in the chat box. But we are, as promised, going to go through and do a longer meditation. And I'll just say that you could stand if you want for this, or just find a comfortable way to sit. And close the eyes if you wish, or if you were going to keep them open, again, keeping it to a kind of a neutral spot, maybe towards the ground, spot in front of you. Perhaps a couple deeper breaths in and out. Knowing that my voice is going to be going in and out, there'll be periods of my instruction and periods of silence. Feeling free to allow my voice to be background if you're in a place of being steady and stable within your own experience. So in making this time for a formal practice of meditation, we arrive, we orient into the body, into all the senses of the body, taking in sound and touch, touching into the earth itself, the places that are supported through the chair, through the floor, the ground. Finding a place to rest the attention is always a lovely anchor, something to come back to. It's terrain, if you will, of meditation itself as a practice, knowing that the mind does its thing. So it's like this, the mind thinks. We can bring it back with that sense of non-judgment, kindness, curiosity. Over and over. Practice, which is always a flow in and of itself. We may notice places in the body where there may be a little opportunity to soften, to open a little bit. to adjust a little bit if needed. Entering the terrain of this body, mind, experiencing along this journey physical sensations, the senses, and the sense of thinking. And we can acknowledge all within our experience, all that we're sensing through the body and through the emotions and thoughts. Acknowledging and getting curious. And not worrying so much. Am I doing this right? Continuing to ask that simple question, where can I soften? Where can I open? There's some constriction that feels like it's within the physical body. Is there some constriction that feels a little bit more within what we would call the heart mind? Is there some word of encouragement, some softening that you can offer yourself? And by now, perhaps noticing many things. Perhaps there is some judgment. Perhaps there is some modicum of really, how am I doing here? Does this relate to the last time I meditated? So we can just see that again as something of the mind and seeing it as that. And we can return to the freshness of the moment through a breath. You're continuing to soften and open to whatever's revealing itself to you in this moment. There is no right. There is no wrong. This is the truth of experience, and it is solely unique to each one of us. So we continue to practice each unfolding moment, seeing what's being revealed. Through this body, through this physical sensing body that does include emotions and thoughts. Continuing to ask, what am I aware of now? Again, if there feels like there is continued kind of a tightness, constriction, where can I soften? Where can I open? To practice together this terrain of practice, which will include possibly, most likely, moments of noticing things that are more like energy level. We drift off, get restless or bored, agitated, perhaps punctuated by moments of stillness and content. Not our role to pick and choose. This is not curated. It is simply awareness. This, right? In this moment, it's like this. And more opening and being willing to be with what is in all of its terrain, all of its rocky crags and beautiful plateaued meadows. The weather of the moment through our mind and heart. To celebrate awareness itself. Moments of being present to all that's within the experience right now. So as we prepare to end this meditation, just let the mind step forward into this next thing as our session will end very soon. this next thing that is maybe on your to-do list, or maybe not on your to-do list, but that next thing will come. And of course, the whole important part of this is not the practice of meditation formally as much as how we can bring it in and how it will inform the what next, the everyday moments. All right. So if the eyes are closed, you can open them up, kind of re-engage with this space. And so everybody, I do see, I took us to the length of that meditation fully. It is pretty much time to end our session. But I thank everybody for your really great comments and, the idea of practice and, exercise of the brain and the fact that, just kind of stick with it, keep going. And also just saying that I've just so appreciated having this opportunity to be with you today. And I hope that you have a really wonderful holiday and look forward to seeing you again at some point in the future. And again, may everything that we practice here benefit us and everyone around us. Thank you, everybody.